it, fellas. Look here. Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Joy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the power band. This is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my friends. Head in a jar, Higo.
Hey, whatever you need, Higo gets.
I want to, if I could reach through the phone and smack you, I would. And, of course,
You could try.
C. Chad forever.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the 1989 sequel to the amazing Lethal Weapon, directed and written by Shane Black. This one was written by Shane Black and then many other people, and directed by the beloved Richard Donner.
Yeah, dog.
And it stars all the people from the first movie, plus Leo Getz.
And Joe Pesci.
And the diplomatic immunity guy.
That's it.
Let's start the show. Hi, Lev.
I love the Corben Dallas.
Yeah, good.
Good.
I'm glad because that's all I
That's
got.
all you got. High level, I'll take a death here because just like in the first one that we did, I for some reason seem to have combined all three Lethal Weapon movies in my brain. And so I was very confused that this one had South Africans in it at all. I was like, "Where's Renee Russo?" So I'll take a death for having watched all of these so many times that they've all become one Voltron-like Lethal Weapon movie in my brain.
I don't know that there's a death there.
No,
I don't think there is actually.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to contest that as
Okay.
well. There's just that's kind of normal.
okay. Well, I like
for
that.
us, man.
I like that you guys are saving me here because
Yeah,
I definitely enjoyed watching this one. Like it's quintessential buddy cop. It doesn't really
definitely buddy cop.
doesn't
Forgot
really
to
hold
mention
up
that,
to the first one that we did recently. I think like if we had been sitting around having a beer talking about the Lethal Weapon movies without having watched them recently, I would have been like, they're all fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But like the first one's better than this one. This one was good and fun and had some scenes that I really liked. And you know the iconic toilet bomb hand holding scene is pretty good.
Yeah, I forgot about
Gripe
that.
of Kev that I have there is that no one complained about the fact there's a turd in the bowl for 18 hours and no one gave him shit about it, which I think is kind of funny.
No one gave him
Any shit about
shit
it.
about it.
Ooh.
Hey.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed
Okay.
it. I kind of like, I don't think I lost steam towards the end, but I was just kind of like, yep, Lethal Weapon movie. Maybe it was because it was like midnight, but I dug it. I enjoyed it. It's not as good as the first one.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's me, bro.
All right, Jarhigo. Hit it, dude.
How do we get out of this chicken shit podcast?
Oh, boy. All right, there you have it, folks. Jarhigo with some choice words.
Mm-hmm.
I rate your high level a 9
For its minimalism.
for its minimalist approach.
Kev, I need to posit a question. If you hate this movie so
Yeah.
much, why were you like trying to save it?
Why was I trying to save it? What do you mean by that?
Well, there were like numerous, I think even probably it happened in episode when trying to decide, what we were going to stab at first in our buddy cop month. There was frequent, no, we can't do that one first. No, we can't do that one next.
Fair.
is it because you hate it or is it because you were just...
All right. Hatred is a very strong word, Ben. And to be fair to the movie, I didn't realize. Well, firstly, I like the disclaimer is that like I watched this 2 nights ago when I was also super low energy, and
That's troublesome.
Yeah.
it is troublesome. So I think that that's definitely part of it. That said, I did watch subsequent chunks of the movie, right? So last night I had slightly more energy, and then tiny bit today, and then I completely threw in the towel. I didn't finish it. I've seen this movie like 8 zillion times. So in fairness to the movie, there's that. And in other fairness to the movie, I didn't really realize that when we were trying to decide the movies, the order of the films in Buddy Cop Month. So the movie's really not to blame. Like, I started watching the movie. I wouldn't say that I hated it, but when I started watching this, like, I got a quarter of it into it, and I was just like, this sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I was like not into it. I was like, this is just beat, dude. And I'll kind of leave it at that. I ended up doing a bit of reading about it, and then I was like, oh, this is why I don't like this movie, right? So, and we can kind of unpack that as we go.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that for now. Wasn't loving it, dude. I was definitely low energy, which played a part in it, but yeah, I was not into it.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Which is rare for me.
I mean, like, I'm not. It's not cool to put fucking emotions and words in your mouth, but I reckon it's probably mostly low energy stuff here, dude. Like, it's a reasonably solid late 80s buddy cop action-y movie. Like, I don't think it has, gaping holes in it.
If you're tired and you're not in the mood,
that's it.
I totally get it.
Because,
I mean, I enjoyed the fuck out of this.
Nice, good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was ready for it. I was in the mood. But it is just nonstop. It is nonstop.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Explosions, gunfights, and nonstop, like, just, Three Stooges, slapsticky kind of humor in between everything. I mean, they practically drop a fucking piano on, Mel Gibson's wife's murder. Like,
yeah,
it's a storage container, but I mean, it's as close to the fucking piano trope as you get seeing in a live action movie. So I guess if you're not in the mood and you're tired, like, this is just going to come off like, something, somebody with like ADHD fucking wrote or something. I don't know, like, it's just like, crazy.
It's like,
it'll feel like watching a feature length Mentos commercial or something. You're just like, all right, I'm fucking done with this shit, man.
yeah, I'm gonna liken it to if you were sleeping and somebody took you in your bed and spirited it out of your house and into a Walmart at its busiest, and then you woke up in the Walmart. That's what I would liken my situation to, or that scenario that you just described. Yeah, it is. But I think that's kind of what it's like. You're just like, you're low energy and you're tired. It's just like you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Not only are you in a Walmart in your pajamas, but you didn't even get to see the greeter at the door of the Walmart, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that is kind of messed up. I think that I was really trying to fight through that, you know what I mean? And like kind of approach it with my most neutral eye.
I'm picturing like Alex from Clockwork
As I
Orange
like
with
to
the
do.
eyes like pried open thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It might not be far off, but I was trying to watch it with my most neutral eye, and it was just, I was really struggling, man. I was really, really struggling, man.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But I was saying in Temple of Doom that I watched it, 6-8 months ago, and I was the same. I was like, this fucking sucks. It was just a headspace thing for me. Because it's clearly, doing it recently, for me at least, it was clearly a fun action romp. So, yeah, I definitely think there's something here.
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you guys start talking about how great it is?
And you'll just sigh throughout the show.
Yeah, I'll do some heavy huffing, man, or something. I'll add in my, I'll try to be fair and add in my bits as, succinctly as I can.
Okay. What was the opening of this one? The car chase or some shit? Oh, that was the new station wagon car chase bit.
Yes. That's correct.
Yeah. And who were they chasing? The African guys with the gold. That's right.
Yes, that's where we get
Krugerrands.
Yes, we get hip to the Krugerrands.
With his red beamer.
Of the movie.
With the dude's red beamer, who, like, I'm totally dropping a fucking well-known nugget if you guys read anything about this but didn't get it at the time, but Drake from Aliens driving the red beamer. Drake and Vasquez are in this fucking movie. That was so cool.
You know, dude, I'm gonna give you a death just for like thinking that we wouldn't know.
I'm
that
not
that
even
was Mark
suggesting that you
Ralston,
wouldn't know.
dude.
That's why I just said
Yeah.
that you guys would have gotten it, but I just love that it was him because I didn't get it until checking it out later.
Let's rock!
Well, I was psyched. I was definitely psyched that we got Jeanette Goldstein and Ralston in this movie.
So cool.
So we had Vasquez, we had Drake in this movie.
Dude, the Goldstein scene is the best.
Dude, I gotta say, that diving board explosion was one of the most creative I've ever seen in terms of like, hey, we're gonna plant a bomb in your house to blow you up. I was like, I did not see that coming. I forgot about that completely.
I could not stop laughing about how
It's
she
pretty
just
good,
goes
man.
flying through the air like fucking ass over tea cuddle. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
Just gonna do some
Holy
laps,
shit.
honey.
Yeah,
holy shit.
It's so funny,
yeah,
man.
it was something.
And then the captain afterwards is like, everybody's dead, but don't really worry about it. Let's focus on who's alive. Good game. Pat him on the ass. Like nobody gave a fuck. Like 8 cops had just been blown the fuck up.
Very funny.
Was it like the dude from Dean Norris, the dude that was in Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, dude, Dean Norris.
There was like some shit went down. I can't remember which character died or something fucking super serious happened. And they're like, all right, guys, we need to like come together. Like Mel Gibson's like, we need to come together as a team and really like kind of focus here. And he's like, hey, poker at my place later? Like,
Yeah.
all right, man. Like, oh yeah, totally. I'm in, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, sorry your wife's dead, but poker at my place? Huh? Poker night, guys?
And then he got very ceremoniously dispatched as well, along
fucking
with his
good,
buddies at the poker game, dude.
At the fucking shit pushed in house. It looked like a gangbanger house.
Definitely, it was a good push in.
I don't know, man. There's just so much LA actiony saccharine set piece bullshit in this that I'm with you, Heeks. I'm on your motorcycle, dude. I was in the mood for it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was extremely LA. I
kinds
can
of weird
I can
shit.
say, because we were talking about how San Francisco was such a part of the movie in 48 Hours a couple weeks ago, and we didn't really comment on the Dragnet being set in LA, but this movie is just, it's so LA, dude.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
You know?
I'll drop all my nugs, but another one that I didn't know is when they jump out or when they fall out into the pool. When the bad South African waiter dude climbs out of the pool, the building in the background is Nakatomi Tower, which is fucking cool as shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Nakatomi Tower is like, is it Warner Brothers or something? It's like some studio or record studio building, and so you can't really see it because it's super close. But like the glass, you can. Yeah, it's like the middle 10 floors of the Nakatomi Tower. It was pretty cool.
Again, interesting.
Why the sigh? That was a big sigh. Are you disappointed that?
Yeah, that was a big side.
Disappointed that Nakatomi Tower's in this movie?
No, I'm annoyed because, I'm getting bass booms from the next room.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We'll get your
You know,
YouTube Mexican
It's
soundboard. out and
Diablo
start
4
competing.
beta.
There you go.
And again, somehow melee weapons sound like a fucking nuclear explosion. I don't get it.
Good Lord, man.
Roommates, they don't give a fuck about you. It's fun.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, man, the LA setting is very LA.
Yeah, very LA.
Sure.
You know what I think? Just to like, is it time for like a deep dive? Can I do a deep dive into my sort of super
I'm
dark,
gonna lean into
dark lever
anything that
gripe?
you show any enthusiasm for here, man.
That's fine. Well, this is my deep dive on my dark lever gripe. Okay. So I started reading about, how Shane, because we were celebrating how Shane Black had written the first movie and directed the first movie, and we were really psyched about that. And like, the first movie is excellent, man. I think we were all agreed that it
it's great
was
stuff.
fantastic, man. And it's a really good movie, and it's got a great edginess to it, and I just felt like that. I guess when I was younger and I saw this, I didn't really think about it. You know what I mean? I was just like,
Yep.
and it's like, and that kind of thing. But like watching it now, especially after watching the first one and talking about the first one like a year ago, I was like really disappointed, man, and when so I start doing some reading and Shane Black starts writing the script. And then he ends up leaving the project altogether. It gets rewritten by numerous different people, and it kind of ends up being the final right is by Jeffrey Boehm, who did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and a bunch of other movies, like big movies, right? So, and that's all well and good, but apparently, as I was reading, they were saying how Black's script was much darker. It had Riggs dying at the end, and it was a much more violent movie, and I feel like that really lines up more with what was going on in the first movie. And so as I was reading it, I very quickly was like, well, this is why I didn't like this movie. And this is the movie that I really want to see. You know what I mean? And they, the article was saying that, not really Donner, because I think Richard Donner is super capable, man, and that kind of thing. And he did shoot many extra scenes, you know what I mean? So he had the opportunity to go either in a darker direction in the edit or not, as it were, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, not necessarily like his fault, but during the course of the rewrites and the studio meddling and like it became more funny, and they leaned way into like the whole buddy cop like funny thing, and that coupled with me being low energy and not in the mood for the movie, I'm kind of rah. I want to see I want to see the original Lethal Weapon 2 script with the movie only directed by Shane Black. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the headspace that I'm
that's
occupying,
fine.
and
that's fine.
And I think that's legit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, as far as gripes go, like, it's easy for me to sit here and or any of us really to sit here and be like, dude, I was so tired. I wasn't in the mood. It's stupid. Like, that's fine. But, like, I feel like this is, like,
I think that's
gripe.
actually more fine than pining for something that never existed. I mean, I don't know. I guess I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, you're saying like being super low energy is
not
more
being
fine
in the mood
than...
for what it is fine, but like lamenting, I could see lamenting like the script that could have been to some degree, but it wasn't. It wasn't even close.
Fair enough.
They made what they made.
Alternate universe.
Yeah, fair enough. And I've seen it numerous times, and I've enjoyed it numerous times. And I think you know me well enough to know that I'm not like a big, guy that pines for like, the original underground version. You know what I mean? Like, that's not usually my bag. I just think the situation when I watched it, my current state of mind and my mood, and then, reading all of that, I was just like, that would have been a lot more better than this. You know what I mean? So
I'm in a really dark headspace, and I've been cutting my arm the whole time I've been watching this. That would have been
maybe, but it would be the end of the franchise.
Yeah, it would be the end of the franchise. But I don't know. Maybe that would have been better.
I feel like
I know
that
you don't want to.
For me is the biggest kind of like, for me at least, argument against that is that I really like the third one. Or have a fondness for it. I should say, like, I have a fondness for the third one, and I don't know if it holds up. I haven't watched it in a long ass time. But like, I have a fondness for like the Renee Russo stuff, and I have a fondness for like the random ass huge fight scene in like a abandoned fucking housing development or whatever. So like, I definitely like understand where Shane Black's coming from with being frustrated that his shit got changed, and I guess he thought that the original script for this was like the best thing he ever wrote, and then the studio changed it. But like, the studio had a money printing machine, like, so they weren't going to let that happen. They did. They were just going to fucking,
and I get that,
Hollywood out on it.
Yeah, I get all of that.
I mean, like the late 80s, 90s was like when Hollywood was at its Hollywoodiest. So like, of course they were going to make it into a fucking giggly Joe Pesci comedy fest. And at the time I was, like you said, young and on board and loved the action stuff. So.
Well, come on. Let's not pretend like the first movie doesn't have a shit ton of comedic beats to it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it definitely does.
There's kind of a dark thing going on with Riggs for sure, but there's a lot of humor, and I understand they like I feel like they took the action and the humor and turned them both up to 11 for this one. It's kind of it's kind of a caricature of the first movie, you know.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not like the first one was some grim, dark, fucking, you know,
No.
noir
Batman
detective
movie.
thing or something. You
No,
know what I mean?
definitely not.
It's
Definitely
a
not. Ben.
campy sort of 80s buddy cop comedy thing, you know, and it had some heart to it. And,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't think, you know, I get that this one is a little over the top.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, you know, does everything have to explode? Like I kind of, you know, when they go through the window and fall to the pool in the beginning there, like I was like, are they going to explode in mid?
Exactly. The fucking food cart exploded and sent them shooting out the window.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it, but at the same time, I feel like it's not that out of character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on the first movie.
Yeah.
You know,
It's definitely not out of trope for the like buddy cop movie. Like that tends to be one of the things.
It's not out of trope. I think I was missing at the very least that little bit of darkness and the edge that the first one had. Like, I think that's what's so brilliant about the first one is that it walks that line really nicely, man. You know, so you've got some dark humor and you've got some humor and you've got that edge to it. You know what I mean? And Joshua and all of these other characters really kind of helped make that edge. You know what I mean? And they let him, you know, kind of write the film the way he wanted and direct the film the way that he wanted. And this one, like, they just went in another direction, and I totally get it. And I don't know. Now watching it, like, because we've definitely watched movies that we haven't seen in a while and been like, oh my God, this is a total turd. Now, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that,
hit,
you know, it didn't hit.
I think Riggs.
Like, wow,
I think
this
Riggs
is,
being broken in the first movie is one of the biggest appeals, and I like that he has some kind of he's kind of like healed. You know, he spends time with Murtaugh's family, and he's kind of like there's some love in his life from that, you know, pseudo family, and then he kind of meets the South African chick, and you know, kind of has like he's kind of on the right track, and then it gets ripped away again, as it does in every movie ever, and that's where some of the dark is sprinkled back on. But I personally I like that Riggs is kind of doing better in this movie, even though it sounds really weird to say that, and like it's kind of an appeal,
it does
even
sound
though
weird.
I get that, like I get that him being fucked up in the first movie is like one of the major pieces.
But that's character development.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a character arc for him over the movies. Yeah.
It's fitting with what's going on by the end of the first movie. You know, like it seems like his friendship with Murtaugh is something that's like, you know, like a salve to his wound. You know, like in his relationship with the family and all of that. Like it's something that's like, you know, able to help him heal. So if he was back at the bottom of the barrel, you know, starting this movie off, I would be like, well, what the fuck happened now?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, the fact that the first movie, you know, Murtaugh's family or daughter gets kidnapped and stuff. So, like, you know, you save your buddy's daughter's life, and like the family's probably going to be like, "Yeah, come on in, dude. Let's have some dinner. Thanks for saving our daughter." You know, like there's this like he's part of the family just for the sake of the like being forged in fire kind of thing. So,
right,
yeah, there's definitely some closeness there. I mean, that scene with Riggs and Lady Murtaugh, Trish Murtaugh, with the chili and talking about the death, like that was I really enjoyed that scene. Like there was a lot going on there.
Oh, right. She finds the pen in the laundry.
Yeah,
I love that she does his
He's
laundry.
like, I found a pen. He's like, it reminds me of when my wife was killed. Let me tell you that story. Well, I crush Oreos into a fucking pot of chili. It was a really well acted scene, man. I really like that scene.
Oh boy.
And I love that he has Oreos in his chili. Like that's my kind of chili right there.
Would you put double stuff Oreos in or just regular ones?
I mean, you'd have to, right? It would be the only thing I had in my house if I could get a hold of them. So they would have to be double stuff.
Yeah, that was all interesting what you just said.
What are you reading about?
No, I'm just sitting here, man, staring into space. I've lost the will to live.
Like I maybe like the like just for the sake of conversation, I feel like the Pesci thing, you could love it or hate it. I personally love it. But it is a great example of dialing the comedy up to 11, you know, like it's very Three Stooges-esque, and he's just, I don't know, it's one of his more quintessential characters.
Yeah, look, dude, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, I still, to this day, right, whenever the drive-through comes up anywhere, the first thing I think of is this guy saying, exactly, they fuck you at the drive-through, man. Like, you know, and it's been, let's see, 989, so, you know, yeah, 30 years, man. It's been like 33 years, so I still think about that all the time, you know?
Leo gets his life pro tips.
Yeah,
Dude.
and the okay. Like, you know, it's like people still do that, man. You know what I mean? Like, to this day, you know, and it's like, you know, I was kind of like, God, when I was watching it, but you know, it's a thing, man. I mean, it's in the cultural lexicon, man. Certainly for our generation. So, you know, and I'm not. This is not like a diabolical hatred or gripe of any kind. It's not like that, man. I just kind of was not into it, dude. You know,
the Pesci stuff is just like, I think part of it is it's a funny character, and part of it it's Pesci who's like fucking batshit in all the other movies that we know him from. That happened, you know, later, but it was just great to have him be like on the lighter side.
Yeah,
like I could have seen like a Eugene Levy playing this character. Not that I would want that, but like it was that kind of a role, you know, like Eugene Levy in Multiplicity kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that
just
too.
Fucking knocked it out of the park.
No, he definitely knocked it out of the park, and I think like, you know, we were just talking about Casino at work, and you know that. We always talk about that part in the bar in the beginning, you know, when Ace is like, oh, he's like, hey, is this your pen? You know, and the guy's like, yeah, it's my fucking pen. And he's like, oh, you know, it's a nice pen. You know, I didn't want to know whose it was. I didn't want anybody to lose it. And, you know, the guy's like swearing at him. And then he just grabs the pen and starts stabbing the guy in the freaking neck, dude. And then he's like, hey, Ace, do you hear a little girl there down there crying there? Where's the big tough guy that just told my friend to go fuck himself? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we usually get, right? Yeah, he is so crazy. And that's what we usually get. So, you know, it's good. It was good to see like the lighter side of Pesci.
Yeah,
man,
dude.
You know what I mean? For sure.
You know, like my
you
cousin
know,
Vinny, for example. Like, there's just some great stuff on the comedic side.
Oh
for
man, anybody that hates that movie should be shot. It's so good. No, it's true, man. It's like, how do you not like My Cousin Vinny?
I don't know.
It's like the
Have
ultimate
you ever met
fish out
somebody
of
who's just like
water.
making up a person who hates it so you could shoot them?
Yeah, maybe
you
I am.
Pesci out about it.
Maybe I am.
Stab him in the neck with a pen.
Yeah, maybe I am.
They'll like it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I think we should
The hypothetical cousin Vinny hater.
Exactly.
Yeah, this mythical guy that doesn't exist.
Take a minute and think about My Cousin Vinny, and if you don't like it, shame on you. Okay.
Exactly.
Zooming out a little bit, I found it really funny and cringy just how like preachy this movie was. You know, it was like it was so late 80s, early 90s with the like rubbers and the don't eat dolphins or don't eat tuna because it catches dolphin shit, and it was just so funny, dude. Like the South African apartheid
80s,
stuff, like
80s woke,
great. It was the
80s woke, baby.
It was.
Yeah.
Would you call it proto woke? It was delightfully proto woke.
No,
Don't,
I wouldn't.
Don't
I
go
wouldn't
there,
say
man.
that. I mean, it puts things into perspective, I think.
It totally does, yeah.
Yeah, it does for sure.
I mean, the South African stuff was a great set piece for the film. Like I loved
like,
it, but it was
hysterical
very preachy in a reasonable way. But you kind of, I don't know. It was like between the dolphins and the South African stuff and the like Free Tibet stuff with the chili peppers. It just reminds me of a time where everybody was very preachy about certain things, and it was kind of funny how it was all kind of shoehorned into the movie.
It's funny how everybody now is very preachy about everything on steroids.
Oh my god! Right?
Oh my god! Wow.
We don't eat tuna,
let's-
Daddy.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Look at my T-shirt. Like dolphins. Like okay.
Exactly.
Fucking funny, dude. That rubber scene, dude.
Oh my god, that was one thing that I loved. I forgot about it. The rubber thing for me was that guy
The
who's
carpenter?
been in like 8 zillion movies. Yes, the carpenter. I can never remember his name, and him just like, you know, landing that hammer of Thor line at the end of that whole scene.
It was
that made me
too.
want to go buy rubbers.
So good.
great.
Yeah, I fucking cracked up when
so great, dude.
actually cracked up when that scene happened.
Yeah, I did too.
That whole thread is terrific. The rubber tree and the at the
Later with Joe
station.
Pesci.
and then like the whole thing sort of like reiterated with Pesci.
Pesci, check this out.
Boy, that kid has a
body on
hot
that
body.
kid. Oh, God damn, she's got a body on her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. What about
Bits and bobs.
what about Denomalos from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, man? Old Arjun Rudd, the lead South African baddie.
Oh, that's right. He was in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I love that guy, and we sort of got to talk about him a little bit when we did our sub off.
Yeah, it's a sub off.
It's a sub off. So we did when we did Greyhound, we did talk a lot about Hunt for Red October, in which he is featured quite prominently.
He is too.
And I love him in that, and I love him in this, man. He's a great combination of just presence, and he can be great and super creepy and kind of diabolical villain, you know?
He's got the crazy eye a little bit.
Like, definitely got a little crazy eye. Great voice, man. Excellent voice. Love that dude.
He's a Brit, I think, too. Hey, he did a good job.
He is an English actor, yes. You never would think of it, man, to look at his three of his biggest American movies being Bill and Ted's Red October and this.
I love it when super capable actors play the villain in movies like Bill and Ted's. It's just like, yeah, man, I'll do that. All right, sweet. I don't know. It kind of makes me love the actor even more when they do such weird shit like that.
I know. That's great. All right, where to? Guide us.
I think Stephen Kahan or Stephen Kahan, the captain, he's really dialed back in this one. I wanted like a spitting angry captain, but he was kind of not super grumpy.
Yeah, I was kind of glad that they didn't go completely ballistic with him, being like the ball busting chief in
48 Hours.
In 48 Hours.
Coming off of that, maybe I
100%.
was expecting, some crazy town.
No, I liked his choice, man. I like that he didn't.
I don't give a
Jack
fuck.
Jack McGee. Jack McGee is the carpenter's name.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that they kept it like kind of toned down.
So toned down that when 6 of his cops die, he's like, yeah, whatever. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there, man. It was a little too toned down.
But it's kind of funny.
We did get a couple of good, get the mayor up my ass and the feds are coming. We had a couple of bits like that were good, like super tropey captain things. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, I mean, the whole reason the guy doesn't have an ulcer is because he doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a fuck.
That's it. That's right, dude. You nailed it, bro.
Hey, I've got a buddy who wants to emigrate to South Africa. Oh, yeah?
That was weird, man.
That was great.
That whole thing was
you're
weird.
black.
But you blick.
But you're black.
But you're black.
Yeah, the South African element here, I definitely kind of feel like it partially makes the movie, like super villainizing them. Like the dude's office is essentially like a fucking Nazi, like the eagle on the wall in the background and shit. Like they really dialed it up. But it's kind of delightful. Like it's kind of the classic Hollywood thing where they like demonize, the Russians, or they demonize, some Middle Eastern country or whatever. But it's kind of tropey that they demonize the South Africans and turn them into Nazis. Like the amount of Adolf shit they were spouting, and it was quite funny.
Yeah, man, that really. I forgot about that. I was like, wow, that's a little much.
It is, but I thought it was quite funny. Yeah, it was very, very ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it was funny, man. But I just was like, wow, they really went for the jugular with that whole angle, man.
No, I mean, fucking apartheid was still going on at that point.
It's
so
pretty serious. Yeah,
fair enough.
They kind of fucking
deserved it
themselves
at the time.
Yeah, they totally deserved it.
Fair enough.
That Benny, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Brazil. I know that Kev, you said you've never seen it, but the Adolf dude, the main henchman in this with the bad hairpiece, was one of the plumbers in Brazil, which I didn't realize and thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him in probably a few things. He looked super familiar.
Yeah, him and Bob Hoskins as futuristic plumbers. That's a good movie, dude. You should check that one out, Kev. Maybe when you're not in such a dark place, but it's pretty good.
Oh wow, is that how it is now? Okay.
Well, no, I mean it. Like it's so silly and weird and Terry Gilliam-esque that you really do need to be in the right headspace. That's all I mean.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, it's just too weird. But it's quite good.
God, I love how like I have one bad day. And you're like, dude,
dude,
when you get out of your dark headspace, bro.
It's kind of like 12 Monkeys. Like if you're not in the right mood for it, it's not going to hit the same. So I think we covered that.
I don't know about that. 12 Monkeys is great, dude. I did just watch Time Bandits again, which was
quite
enjoyable. Yeah, it's on HBO.
Time.
And I also found that just never mind.
Good story.
Sorry. I was very psyched to see that Venture Brothers is on HBO. I started watching that again.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. So good.
It's excellent.
Oh man.
Anyway, so continue your whatever the hell you're doing there, Chad.
Yeah. Stilt House with the big Dodge Ram thing. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I love
classic.
That was a fucking
I love
like
that.
seeing that house come down. I was like, damn, dude, that was an expensive ass shot. That was cool as fuck. Like any other movie would have done that with a model or some shit, but that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, early Nugget that cost $500,000 to pull that off and do
That's
that shot.
crazy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it was a fake house because if it was a real house, that would have been kind of sad because it was a pretty cool house.
Mm.
A lot of cocaine was done in that fucking house.
Yeah, man.
I was having huge GTA 5
Oh, fuck yeah.
flashbacks there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call,
I remember
'cause,
that. That was great.
There's actually a part where you do the same
that.
thing.
That's right.
There's a mission where you fucking pull the house down with a truck.
Yeah, that was great.
Pulled straight from this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, an obvious
Whores
nod.
over.
Whores d'over.
Toilet scene. I mean, we're bitsing and bobsing, which I think is fine. I think we covered a
Yeah,
lot.
that's fine.
But the toilet scene, man, that's the one that's always stuck out at me. That I've always remembered about this one.
Which I completely forgot. So there were, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I forgot. One was the toilet scene. One was the now famous Jeanette Goldstein diving board explosion scene, and a couple of other things too, man. Like Jack McGee's lines about the rubber. But yeah, go ahead. But the toilet scene, man.
I don't know, man. It's pretty hard for it not to be a kind of buddy cop legendary scene.
Definitely.
All I remembered was like him on the shitter rolling out the toilet paper with the boom thing and then the toilet hitting the police car. I didn't remember it was like a fucking 15-minute long scene with like
Yeah.
and shit, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't remember that either, man.
I was just like, yo, just like, radio I did on the private band, like, don't make a big deal. I was like, oh, I got you, man, I promise.
Hey, Riggs.
600 people outside.
Keep it quiet, okay?
I don't know. Like, I think one of the things I love most about this series and or this movie is just how much Riggs likes fucking with Murtaugh. Like how much delight he gets out of, innocently setting Murtaugh up for the rubber thing, being like, yeah, everybody, 8:00 on what channel 8, the next day. When they watch the scene, he's just cracking up on the couch. He just loves every minute of it. Doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's so charming. It's so charming how much he loves giving Murtaugh shit.
Yeah, no, it was.
I love that, like, literally everyone in the precinct is there. The fire department is there. There are ambulances. Like, the fucking, the precinct shrink is there.
Yeah.
Like, just like
The neighbors are outside. The fucking news cameras. It's so great, man. And I don't know. There's just, I think it's just like, I'll say it now because I just really feel like this is the most buddy cop movie. Like they're just like, you can tell that they truly are like really, really good bros.
Well, if this is okay, so Dragnet is a buddy cop movie, but I think there's a different angle or direction there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it had all the elements of the buddy cop situation, right? But it's kind of like an unintentional, like kind of buddy cop movie, man, because they're really just trying to turn the original genre on its head. And if 48 Hours is like the proto buddy cop, right? Like the originator, this one is definitely like the level 2 version, in my opinion.
And the first
what I mean?
movie's,
Like,
them forming a bond, but like in this one, like the toilet scene, you know, they don't go the extra mile and say, I love you, man, but they basically do, you know, and you can tell that they're buds, you know, they're like, they've been through some shit. And they're just good bros. And Riggs loves fucking with Murtaugh and like taking the piss out of him. It's like what real friends do, you know, what real bros do.
Yeah.
They just like give each other shit. I don't know.
Definitely.
They're super tight and it's really funny.
I gotta say, man, like I am now a huge fan of the Chips movie, thanks to Jarhigo, right? And nice. I just watched it again a couple of weeks ago. Sorry.
And you liked it.
I would love to see a Dax Shepard version of this movie, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? Like, I think that would
somebody would have commented on the shit smell then, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. But like, I think that would be really funny, dude. I think it would be funny because Chips was pretty damn brilliant, dude. That's it. Keep going.
Like
it's
Chips.
Good
like
buddy
Chips.
cop movie, for sure.
Definitely.
We have the just the shenanigans, the toilet shenanigans, man. I love it.
Yeah, the toilet shenanigans were good. I mean, the whole thing was funny.
Yeah, it's kind of moving, you know. Like there's that little moment they have, like when they're trying to decide whether to go on 3 or right after 3 or whatever, and like, yeah, Murtaugh's like, you know, Riggs, you know, and Murtaugh's like Riggs, and then Riggs is like, I know, and then they go.
I'm not gonna fucking die here with you. Let's go.
Exactly.
I'll elevate that, actually, that sentiment, Ben. I think it was cool the way that he was like, no, I'm gonna stay. Like, if anybody should be here, it should be me. You know what I mean? And that he like the way it got played was, and the way the choices that Mel Gibson made there, I think, were really gave it like a nice little moment there. You know what I mean? And it wasn't cheesy, and it wasn't tropey, and it wasn't like, you know,
no.
The partner being like, no way, dude, it's going to be anyway, it's going to be me. You know, like it was not like that. And that's the kind of thing you would expect there, you know, like, no way, dude, you know, and it's like, it wasn't.
If it was like
that.
fucking,
like
you know, The Rock or whatever, or Mamoa, you know, like a remake, that's totally what it would have been.
All right. What was that movie we dreamed up with the two of them?
I don't know, but.
I don't know either. But anyway, yeah. So,
maybe it was best forgotten.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe it is best forgotten, but that was a nice moment, dude. And I think, again, not to be like, you know, Donnie Darko, but like I think that those moments were too few and far between, and I think that was like that heart that you know is really, I think, part of, you know, like Ben said before, what made the first movie great. I think that was, you know, missing more of in this movie.
That was it. I'm totally, picturing you as
Donnie
Darko
signing off. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think it was Donnie Darko where I noticed that Jake Gyllenhaal has this tick where he like is always drooling out of the corner of his mouth and kind of like, and you'll never unsee it now in any movie he's in. He's constantly doing it. So I just picture you doing that.
For real?
Bitching about this movie. I love it.
Wow, that's that was a super deep cut, bro.
It's a very
super
random,
deep cut.
random nugget.
Yeah, very random, very deep.
Sorry
cut.
to have
Thank
ruined
you.
Jake Gyllenhaal for you.
Well, yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So it ticks all the buddy cop boxes, man. Ticks all the action boxes. Has the right amount of comedy. Like I'm fully on board your motorcycle Heegs. We left Kev at the bus stop to sulk.
Oh yeah,
in LA with a bunch of homeless people.
Filling my comic books with tears. Right on.
Well, what other bits and bobs, other scenes? I think that's probably a good place to be.
I know we mentioned it already, but I could not get over the diving board explosion scene. Like, firstly, it was one of the most creative, like, hey, let's plant a bomb in somebody's house and blow them up kind of method. And then just the fact that they showed the entirety of what would happen really blew me away, man.
Yeah.
You know, like like Ben said, like there she was, and then there she is, and there she goes, and like the body was in the whole scene flying around. Like,
that
crazy.
end over end flipping through the air thing. Like I just
times.
like I could not, like, I kind of choked laughing. I kind of wanted to rewind it and like just watch it over and over again because it was so funny.
And you probably should have.
Somebody should get on just making a GIF of her flipping through the air like that.
Hell yeah.
And just like whoop it, you know, like the Rodney Dangerfield, like, you know, doing the triple Lindy flip through, like, you know,
totally triple Lindy. I love it.
Triple Lindy, baby.
The fucking Jason Bourne Under Siege fucking shootout on the ship at the end, Kev, that you may not have caught, so may not remember clearly, but like just like shipping container full of money, car flying out the side, flying down on a rope. You know, there was some serious fucking Captain America shit going on there, and I'm on board, man. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
some serious shootouts, culminating in the piano drop.
Yeah, and you know, it's like the very end, you know, when Arjun comes out and he's like, diplomatic immunity.
Just takes one of the forehead.
Murtaugh like pulls his 38 out and he does that like neck roll thing. You're like, oh shit, here he comes.
Now he means business, man.
Fucking A.
Yeah. I was waiting.
Not bad for an old man, right?
I was waiting the whole movie for that, man, and I never got to see it because I never finished it. Because we were talking about that back a couple bunch of episodes back.
That's the thing, is you kept spouting diplomatic immunity, and I was like, "What is he talking about? This is the movie with Renee Russo
for months."
What the fuck?
I was for
like,
months.
Kept my mouth shut about it.
Diplomatic immunity, which is.
It's like, that's not how it works,
weird,
bro. You can't shoot 5 people and then be like, yeah, diplomatic immunity.
No, it's not how it works.
I liked how like that guy's got like such a great gravelly voice. It's like really rich, you know, like those accents that he uses, that actor, you know. And when he does that line, which is like the best line in the movie, his voice is totally different. That's what he sounds like. It's really weird.
It's great. We're very wicked witch.
Diplomatic immunity
Gets popped.
Anyway, yeah, I got diplomatic immunity from this movie.
I know that this is maybe a little bit too serious, but thoughts on the fact that the Hitler dude, Peter von Stepp, killed Riggs's wife? It was a little on the nose, but I get it.
I kind of, like, in retrospect, after everything I've read and said, I kind of wish they had left that out, sort of. Yeah, because
wasn't
like
necessary.
It wasn't necessary because, like, all right, if you're gonna choose to go in the lighter direction and lean into the comedy more, it's like, don't start bringing in like complex plot thread things. You know what I mean? That are gonna hook up. You know what I mean? Like it kind of at that point didn't fit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Patsy Kensit getting killed is enough justification for Riggs to be pissed.
Agreed.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to say is they should have left one or the other out.
Yeah,
you know, like they should have not killed her and had that be the case, or, you know, she got killed and that was just enough reason for him to go ballistic. You know,
and the wife wasn't a part of it. The wife's history wasn't a part of it. Like telling the story about the wife dying over the pot of chili was great. It just, yeah, I agree. I don't think it needed to get tied in with this guy killing her. Like.
No, it didn't. That belonged in like whatever the original draft was. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That was much darker, that had like, you know, a final kind of showdown, boss battle thing with him and Gibson at the end. And then, you know, Riggs ultimately dying. You know what I mean? I think that it's like, keep it in that movie that never existed. You know what I mean? Like the Patsy Kensit thing was more than enough.
Yeah, and it was reasonable. Like I like that he kind of, you know, he was kind of smitten. You know, he'd come out of his dark hole and was a little smitten and all of that, like, character progression stuff we talked about earlier.
Sure,
just to have her taken away. Like that scene with her drowned under the water. I definitely remember that one. Left a strong impression on me as a Ute.
A Ute.
The 2 Utes.
Yeah.
That speaking of the boss battle, the knife in the back of Mel Gibson's leg throughout the whole fight was pretty great too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to use that later.
I'm just going to leave that there until I need it.
just leave that there. I'll need that later.
Yeah.
It was kind of akin to Endo, you know, zapping him with the wet electric sponges in the first one. in its sort of placement, I guess.
The piano fall too, like I don't know. It's a great final fuck you to old hairpiece Hitler.
Definitely. I mean, as far as, the tropey 80s action movie stuff, it's right up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's up there with let off some steam, Bennett.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely punny too, man, for sure.
Kind of the movie's kind of cartoonish, in a lot of ways.
No doubt.
And the like dialed up humor and action. So I think it was, pretty fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, and the very super obvious nods to the Three Stooges, as you guys have mentioned a couple times here. Like, it fits that too.
Very. Yeah. Especially, with the addition of Leo.
Yeah.
To their duo.
Yeah, they even did a nose pull on Leo at one point, It's amazing that I had missed just how Three Stooges this movie was until, watching it as a adult. How much this shit just flies over your head when you're fucking 13 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is amazing how that happens.
Mm.
It's amazing to me how, or not amazing to me, but it's interesting to me how, you got a similar kind of situation happen between the first and the second Die Hard films as the first and second of these Lethal Weapon movies, in terms of tone. Because, like, when we did Die Hard for Christmas a couple of years ago, I was really, really like, I forgot how great of a movie that is. Like, it's such a great movie. I think like the sort of over the topness of the second and the third one, and then of course Die Hard Forever in the Universe and on Mars kind of took it, But when you watch the original one, you're just like, wow, this is like a really good movie, and an excellent Christmas movie, It's like kind of weird how that happened in both of those franchises.
Anyway. Yeah, they do definitely have the same vibe. Much better trash cans in this movie, though.
Yeah, definitely better trash cans. Good call, Chad.
I got you,
bro. The Lucas treatment, they're a little more beat up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not so shiny and fresh looking. But he came in and did like, some a coffee wash and, maybe some
exactly.
So we did
some ochre and some burnt umber, sort of mixed up together.
They gotta have
to a little wash on there.
Did you just drop some Bob Ross colors in there, bro? Some yellow ochre and some burnt umber.
Mm-hmm. These are colors that the mighty Adam Savage uses to make things to weather props. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
One day build.
I like it.
Die Hard 2 trash can.
That should be an item on our website store, dude.
That we should make on our YouTube. We'll do.
It's just a brand new steel trash can.
Exactly.
It's just go to Home Depot and buy a trash can.
Right?
Just marked up.
All done, guys. Yeah. Thanks for joining in. Select that
Not
like
even.
button and subscribe there. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, or some sort of mini kind of desktop version, maybe like as a pen holder or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I like it.
No office is complete without the Die Hard 2
trash can pen holder.
Official pen
the
holder.
Die Hard 2, two new
trash can pen holders.
Move over, Nakatomi
Office supply
closet,
organizers.
desk clock.
A nice acrylic pen, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. It all comes in the 6 demon bag.
Mm-hmm. You can put your dead wife gold pen in it.
Oof. There you go. All right, are we? What are we doing? Are we ready for nuggets or what?
Let's do nuggets. I told all my nuggets. Drake and Vasquez.
Definitely blew your nuggets early.
Nakatomi Plaza. Oreo cookies in the chili.
God.
Like some good stuff going on.
Oreos in the chili. Yeah.
Did I ever talk about the Danny Glover's powdered milk thing in Haiti with you guys?
No, Chad, you didn't. Is this a nugget?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like a personal Anik nugget. Where, but first
Anik
couple
nugget,
Anik nugget, yeah. The first couple of weeks when I was in Port-au-Prince after the earthquake, there was some friends of mine who were like really kind of like lefty, radical kind of, I don't know, a group, and they like Danny Glover does a lot of humanitarian stuff, and so they were like, "Hey, man, Danny Glover got us a truck full of food that we got to bring to these camps." It's like, okay, cool. And so, this truck was getting delivered. I guess Danny Glover paid for it or something. And then we got a phone call like at sunset one night, and the truck had crashed on the street and tipped over. And so we all ran up to this main drag, and there was like a truck full of food. Danny Glover's truck full of food had tipped over and like crushed a taxi, and like some dude lost a finger, and like a bunch of other shenanigans, and all this food had spilled out onto the road, and like we had to like, I don't know, kind of keep the scene reasonable because people were coming out of these like earthquake kind of IDP camps and like obviously trying to get some of the food, but there wasn't enough food for everybody, so it like would have turned into a food riot. And so like me and some of these other people had to like stand in between these Haitian people and this like Danny Glover food, and it was like half of the truck was filled with powdered milk, and so we had to empty out this truck filled with powdered milk, and so we were covered head to toe in powdered milk, and like all these cops came and started like I'll send you guys some photos of it. It's the most amazing thing ever. But I completely forgot about this and didn't remember it at all until I saw something about Danny Glover's Humanitarian shit, and I was like, that's right, that was Danny Glover's fucking truck full of powdered milk that tipped over. And so I don't know, it's just a very, very random anecdote, but he does a lot of humanitarian shit, and for whatever reason I have this weird connection where I was once covered head to toe in Danny Glover's powdered milk. So
wow. So you guys all looked like Farva with the
dude, we
powdered
totally
sugar?
did. Yeah, it's delicious. It was really a really fucked up, crazy scene. Like it was just so weird, but I just love that random shit. And kudos to you, Danny Glover, for trying to help.
Definitely.
Very random. Okay. And thank you, Chad, for that completely unrelated movie nugget. Life nugget.
It's not unrelated. It's Danny Glover.
Yeah, kind of. All right. So...
kind of.
So we have, I love a good casting nugget. Danny DeVito was considered for the role of Leo Getz.
He could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he definitely could have pulled it off for sure.
I'm definitely still on my Eugene Levy motorcycle too, though.
Dude, I gotta say,
could see that too.
Yeah, I could definitely see Eugene Levy over a lot of other people, right? Interestingly enough, Joe Pantoliano, also known as Joey Pants, also known as Cypher, was the first choice to play Leo, but he turned it down due to scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, he could have totally done it.
I could totally see it too, man. Yeah, I could totally see Joey
Pants has that vibe.
Doing that really well too. Yeah,
I like it. Joey Pants. That's a good mix,
right? Yeah.
Neat.
Also, go ahead.
I just said neat.
So, also interestingly enough, this movie passed uncut in South Africa, and it was played exactly as it was cut. I
like that
in the U.S. Yeah, I do too, man. That really says a lot, man.
It's some crazy shit over there, man. There's tons of South African. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
wild shit. Who would have thought that the prawns eventually came and took over the city?
A little District 9 reference there.
9, yes, thank you for that. Yeah, that was good. I was going to say, man, I could totally see if they did if some other serious remake of this movie was made, I could see Charlton Copley playing that evil South African guy, and he would be great at it.
He's awesome.
Right? Yeah. So there's a scene, my last nugget is there's a scene in the movie where there's a song playing in the background, and it was by a short-lived British band called, I think, Eighth Wonder, in which Patsy Kensit was the lead singer. It's kind of odd.
Word.
Right?
Am I just like 13-year-old, like, that girl's gorgeous, I'm going to remember her name, Patsy Kensit, or was she actually, like, well-known? Because she hasn't done fucking almost anything else.
No, she was not well known. I remember my buddy, when this movie came out, my buddy was just absolutely gaga over her. He never shut up about her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The name just really rings a bell. I guess I'm looking at her IMDb. She's married to one of the Oasis dudes or some shit. So who fucking knows?
Oh, well, that must be fun.
would have been a great time.
Right?
That must be joyful.
Anyway, deaths.
You guys are such menches.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. All right, so the death count, I am very sad to say, is interestingly enough, I'll tie a nugget in with this. This movie had a death count of 33, which is the highest in the Lethal Weapon franchise.
There you go.
And this episode of this show has 0 deaths.
You wouldn't even let me have my death in the beginning.
That's correct. We did not. And
I stand by it.
And I stand by Jarhigo and myself.
Boys.
I know you do.
You know, I know you're disappointed, but it only makes the deaths more interesting and, more important when they do happen.
When they do
There's
happen.
That
We don't
it's
just
not
fake
like a
it till we
fucking
make it.
frag fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Makes it more meaningful, Kev.
That's it.
You're right, man. It does. All right, ratings. Let's rate this beast.
Rate it. Rated it. That's Kev.
Rated it. There you go. I like that. You guys go first.
This was already on the algo at a 5.9. I was going to knock it down, but I didn't.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon
yeah.
1, I think, has a 7.
Okay.
So I definitely feel like this one is like inching in on the 6. Up there with kind of Moon and Sunshine and
I don't know about that,
A
but
Bronx Tale and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of buddy cop nostalgia, late 80s, early 90s nostalgia. I mean, I totally understand that you're not going to agree with anything I say nicely about this movie right now, so it's no surprise to me. But
it's not so much that as just our sort of attitude towards the algorithm of late. But go ahead.
But go ahead. Keep talking about that stupid
But
shit.
please, please continue.
Please continue. Yeah, that's it. It's 5.9. It's a solid movie.
Feel
Solid buddy cop action flick.
hatred building inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
There
cool,
you have
man.
Nice.
Benoit.
I'm going to go with an 8 7/16.
Wow, I like that. Using some fractional system. This is some kind of
13,
new
30
system,
deuces.
too. I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm using a new hybrid fractional system for ratings.
I love it. I love the
Me too,
the
man.
carpentering.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it probably doesn't deserve it, but I had a good time watching it this time around. Who knows? Maybe next time I'll be in your boots, but this time, that's where it was.
I was in my own.
I think
yes.
that's a solid rating, man.
I'm not going to eviscerate this movie as badly as you may think.
Yeah, it's a 9.
I'm going to give it, I was going to give it a 6, okay? But I'm going to bump that to a 6.74. Here's why. This movie was available on Tubby for free. And you know how excited I get
Three-quarters
about
of a
that.
point for an asinine reason. I like it.
Hey, man, you call it asinine if you want, dude. But it
That's
meant
funny.
a lot to me. I was like, where am I going to watch this damn movie, dude? And then I just like searched it up on Google. First thing that came up, fucking
TV
Tubby
for
for
free.
free, dude.
Yep.
I found myself wishing I hadn't watched it on Tubby for free.
Why?
Well, to have ads or something?
Yeah.
They
always.
do, and I have an ad blocker that does not allow them, but it still pauses. Like it still like takes a minute to like figure out that it
Sort
can't
it
play
out.
the advertisements and
Yes.
go back to the movies. So
Correct.
yeah,
I don't know. There's something kind of fitting about watching it with ads because it would have been on Total Beastmaster Station all the time.
yeah.
With
What do you mean?
it would have been on those. It would have been
Oh,
on TV
right,
all the
right,
time.
right.
This is why I don't watch live TV and why I stream. I don't
Yeah.
want ads.
That's fair enough.
Mm-mm.
I do remember watching it back in the day on TV with ads and just be like, I fucking hate these ads. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it fits with the history of it, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
All right.
All right. 8
Good
and
game.
7/16. I like it.
There you have it, folks. Lethal Weapon 2.
Where two of us.
And as this is exciting, Chad Lab, what are we doing for
What are we doing next week? Next week we're doing
What
Lethal
do-
Weapon 3.
so we can watch Kev hang himself?
Next week we're doing Alien Nation.
Yes, dude. For the final film of Buddy Cop Month, I am excited, man,
Yeah.
about that movie. I'm a big fan of that movie. So we
Let's do
got
it,
Buddy
bro.
Cop, we got sci-fi, we got all kinds of great things going on.
See
we
if
got
I
Jimmy
can't get
Caan.
myself into a shitty headspace for it.
Oh, yeah, do that. That'd be great. Do it on
That's good
purpose.
content.
Because that's fun. Yeah, great content. All right, awesome, man. Well, there you have it,
man.
folks.
Gonna break a toe right before I watch it.
Oh, perfect. Even better. There you have it, folks. Jarhigo's going to break a toe. Chad's going to get on his couch in his dark room, and I'm going to be on Happy Pills, and we're going to watch Alien Nation. So tune in for that next week. Thanks for joining us for Lethal Weapon 2.
Everybody knew when I invented stummies.
And that...
No, it's so good, Don. Yes.
It's a much bigger pill.
I like it. Keep talking.
I like it a lot.
Finds your
Is it
happiest
ready for
memory
production?
chemically and latches onto it chemically.
There was only a couple of flipper babies.
That's just whenever you say happy pills, that's what I think of, man.
Yeah, wow. I love it. Happy Pills are stummies. The color of the drug. Duh.
Liz, my cap is Luke. Lukewarm? No, Luke Skywalker, you fucking inbred.
Lukewarm, Chris.
All right.
Claim an axe for pets.
Thought of the name for the pill. All right, anyways, end of the show.
You guys are not allowed to reference Brain Candy anymore unless we do the movie.
I know, we should do
boy.
it. Man. We got to do it.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
We could just reenact the whole fucking thing.
Well, we do that every time we get on it. A little tear about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Anyway.
All right, let's all see if Kev knows what episode number it is this week. It should be easy.
Really, dude?
Come on.
Kick me while I'm down,
Kick
man.
me while I'm
It's
down.
really cool. Kick me while I'm down, bro. All right.
And here he goes. It's
Well, first we have to say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
And that is going to wrap up this week's episode. Folks, if you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/201. That's right. We hit 200 shows, man. Yeah. Benny, favor us with a little... Thank you. If you'd like to support this show, quote unquote, you can do so in a number of ways. You can rate us and review us on your favorite podcast app, or you can tell a friend and possibly your family members to check out the show. That's always helpful.
You can tell a friend by telling them. It's like, yep.
You can also support us directly, folks. This is a lot of work we do to bring you this wonderful free show every week. And you could support us directly on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/EBD podcast. And as always, join us on social media. We're everywhere across the metasphere, folks. But we spend a lot of time on Instagram, and that's at EBD podcast. So get in there and do some hitting some bells and smashing some likes. So, that's it. Thanks for joining us for Lethal Weapon 2. We'll see you next week for our final film of our buddy cop movie month, and that's going to be Alien Nation. So long for now, folks. Boo-boo. The final countdown. Oh my God.
One for C-Lab, two for Torhigo, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Beady. Stop into it.